UNC family. Thank you all very much. UNC family and friends, thank you for joining us tonight. And what is the code? The code is? The code is? UNCN. Thank you so much. It is always so great and wonderful to be in my hometown, in the constituency of Superior. And I welcome all of you to the great home that I know as Superior. And to Keith Scotland, welcome Penal David Corporate. Scotland is not, what was it, Pine Dibal? What's the name? We are in the corporation of Penal, David and Superior. Welcome all of you. You know, we have a special welcome tonight to more than one person. Well, let's give it up to Mr. Jack Warner, who's joined us here in Superior. All my MPs, senators, NATEX, all are wonderful candidates. Do you see the team of candidates? They're young, they're not so young, but they're all UNCN proud. All. Thank you. You know, as the teams are walking the length and breadth of our country, we can feel the love. Everywhere the UNC Yellow goes, you can feel that love. You have the support. People are welcoming the UNC and our partners, the NTA and others, everywhere we walk. I've always been committed, as you know, to national unity. Those words are buzzwords. We've always been in the UNC committed. And so once again, we have started to bring people together with the growing accommodation that we have. Starting with the NTA, led by former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith. This has grown with the most welcome return of, guess whom? Mr. Jack Warner and the ILP. And we equally welcome the Pointe-a-Pierre branch of the OWTU. Welcome them as well. Many groups and individuals, they have reached out to join us. People are fed up of this dictator and his behavior. And so this emerging alliance will continue to grow into a mighty political force. This powerful political unity will bring the views and aspirations of all our diverse people to bear on national development. This is the national solution we need more than ever if we are to save our country. So friends, tonight, we must save our homes, we must save our children. We must rescue them all from the disaster inflicted on us all in the past 8 years by dictator Rowley. As we say to you, united we stand, together we can, and the sun will rise on our land. But first, we have a job. We have something to do. My colleague spoke earlier, and I endorse all their powerful statements tonight. But first, we have to rid our land of dictator Rowley. That's the first thing we have to do. We must get rid of the dictator. Most of you are going through problems. And what you want, really? Rowley thinks about money. Money can't buy love, you know, remember that? What you want is empathy. What you want is reassurance. What you want is kindness from your leaders. You don't want a hostile dictator blaming and talking down to you. What you want is love, empathy, encouragement, and reassurance that your leaders will work to give you a better life. You know, PNM MP who attended the conversation gimmick thing they had on Saturday, he told me that the dictator didn't even try to empathize with his own PNM members who were asking questions about issues. So what we say is go to the polls all week this week, special voters, and from Monday go to the polls. Vote for love, vote for compassion, vote for care. The code is blue. The code is yellow and blue, wherever you are. Let us send a message to the and the world that you are uniting and advancing to save yourselves, because this government has no love for normal people. People are coming united and strong, and you have to come together to save yourselves and to save Trinidad and Tobago. So what do? You remember what? Stand your ground. Yes, what do? Stand your ground. Adulting, I told you all that we must stand home and we have to protect our families. I heard the dictator saying, I would have said that, you know, never in a country has any leader ever been so passionate about the well-being of criminals as Rolly Knox. His greatest priority is about the criminals and not about law-abiding people. Imagine, after being in office for almost 8 years, presiding over a runaway crime spree, over 4,000 innocent citizens have been slaughtered by criminals. And the dictator is now more than what? What is he concerned about? The criminals. He worried about the criminals who invade in your home. They are talking about what? Force. What kind of force? He is more concerned about the criminals than law-abiding citizens. I want to ask you tonight, what has he done to deal with this out-of-hand crime situation? Look at this video, please. Just look at this video for me. Look at this video, please. Check that. Security detail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has this big security detail with automatic rifles. While he and all his family are protected, it is you all are unprotected. Check the security detail on that video. 1, 2, keep going, 3 and more. Totally protected by your taxpayer dollars paying that security deal, but he's telling you all, don't worry, it's okay. Kamla crazy. She's a dangerous woman. I am proud to be dangerous. I'm dangerous to stand for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And then Melville, they have a problem with Faris has a problem with legal firearms. He's disturbed by my words. But check the video. He has no problem with his children toting these huge rifles because they are protected and you are not. Show that picture. Show that picture. What about that, Faris? You worried? When Faris' children were using high-powered weapons, he had no issues. If that was poor people children, you know what happened? All of them in jail. If it was poor people children, all in jail. All in jail. Again, look at this other clip. This is what you face at the hands of criminals every day. Check out this. Kevin, can you please put up? Yes, look, criminals. frightened. Imagine that. The criminals run right outside, and you law-abiding persons, you're locked away behind burglar-proof. Literally, you're in a prison in your own home. And you're like at the mercy of the criminals. And look at this man, Hines. Rowley refuses to move Hines. So rather than sleeping, you and your children. 4,000 plus murders. And he will not get rid of this incompetent Rip Van Winkle. I think Rudy, always sleeping on yourself. That's the man in charge of your safety and security and that of your children. But Rowley chooses him above you and your families. So my friends, look, in this land of ours, this beautiful land of ours, TNT, okay? Trinidad music is very popular among the young people. They feel disregarded and marginalized in our country, and that reflects our cultural reality. I also agree that many gangs also use Trinidad music to promote themselves. It is true. But it's also true that many children, young people, they like it for fun. They light up the world. They say, light them up. Light them up. Just light them up. Light them up. And as I speak about gangs, let's look at this report of the Minister of Government, Foster Cummins. Can we put that up? Special branch report, not mine. Not Rudy and Kamla and Jack Warner, you know. This is a special report. Imagine this man. He's under investigation for gang ties. He's under investigation for DSS links. You all remember that? Two small memories, you know, DSS. He's under investigation for business deals. He's under investigation in the credit union. I think he got thrown out of the university. Yes, he got out for why? He realized for copying somebody else's work. But he's apologizing for me. I'm not apologizing. I will not apologize for one. My question, why is he still in the cabinet of Keith Rowley? Why? I will not ignore our country's young people, marginalized people, whom this government has abandoned and turned their backs on. You know, all of us were young once, and sometimes we are a little rebellious when we are young. But that's how we learn and we grow. I will not turn my back on of the young people of Trinidad and Tobago. I am to reach out to them. I am trying to reach out to the young people. I'm trying to learn their language, speak their language, so they can become involved in the political process, become part of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And so as we must humble ourselves, learn to listen to the young people. So if I'm talking Trinidad language to you, that is the language of the young people we represent. You cannot listen, you know. You cannot listen. You cannot learn if you speak the language of the not so old and of the young people. I am trying to engage with them. Every man and woman that was murdered had a daughter, had a son, mother, father, nephew, niece. And we must not push these young people away. It is our responsibility as adults to reach out and help them. They too are the victims of crime. Indeed, this government, their failure to address crime has deprived many children of a mother, of a father, of a brother, of a sister, because of the failure of this. Every man and woman that was murdered had a daughter, had a son, mother, father, never. And we must not push these young people away. It is our responsibility as adults to reach out and help them. They too are the victims of crime. Indeed, this government, their failure to address the rampant legal firearms to preserve against the scourge that is upon us. You're not saying you're giving everybody who apply. There'll be a structure. There'll be questions to ask. You'll have to go to testing, psycho testing, all kinds of things. It's not pick up a gun, which this dictator seems to believe. Will just everybody's sitting here, give you a gun. No. There will be a proper legal process to give law-abiding citizens to protect them. But I want to ask you, and you all have to ask them when shoot and thing. Ask them this. And since they are so against legal firearms, legal guns, Mr. Prime Minister, dictator, sir, how many of your ministers own firearms? How many of them holding guns? Somebody not one, not two, not three, 4, 5. Tell me. Sitting and say you can't give gun to young people, but your minister cabinet holding guns. You know, well, it should run toting gun too, but it's something else. So, it is typical dictator arrogance and hypocrisy to berate citizens for wanting to lawfully own a firearm to defend themselves, whilst him and his ministers all have guns and police protection. They all have. There are blue lights flashing up and down the highways. But they're telling you, no. Invade your home, what do? Come and sit down, please. You want some tea? You want some roti? You want some bacon shark? You want some... Come. I light them up. I want to tell you tonight, my information is that most of Rowley's ministers have firearms, they have guns. Well, you know, FUL, arms, what is it, Jack? Users, license. They have guns, legal guns, but they don't want you to get it. But they have it, and on top of that, they have special branch and police security. But you know, Rowley have a special problem with the special branch, eh? But I'm not going there tonight. And this is the same man. He wanted special guns. Did you all know that? He wanted special guns to kill pig and sheep. But he's now against you getting a gun to defend your family. This is the same man who wanted a firearms dealer's license for his friend in Tobago. Did you know that? And that, he wanted a special license, firearm dealer's license for his friend in Tobago. Rowley, we will expose you every night and day. You will be exposed. But doesn't want you. Dr. Cruikshank, Pastor, he don't want you to have a firearm to protect and defend yourself. So, this is the same man. He talks about millions of rounds of ammunition missing. But he cannot give us one shred of evidence. So you hear a lie? That is a lie. That is a liar. That man is a liar. This is the same man who has underfunded, demoralized the hard-working officers of the TTPS. This is the same man. Tonight, others spoke about his priorities and where it went. Roads were not his priorities. Healthcare not his priorities. Education, nothing is his priority. Where are the priorities going? In paintings, remember? Kasabo paintings. How much million in a mansion in Tobago? Priorities not with the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You know, somebody called me last night. Sometimes it's hard. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but I think it's a good line to tell you tonight. You know, we talk about the working class. But she told me, she said there's no longer working class, there's only catchers in Trinidad and Tobago. No working class. Only catchers. The brave men and women of our national security services have been treated horribly. Police and prisons and so on. They go out daily to protect and serve. They leave their families unprotected at home. All police officers, prison officers, and those in the Coast Guard must be granted, I say today, a firearm user's legal license. Everyone. And it must be paid for by the state. When these officers leave home, they leave their families unprotected. They can't even go back and run in to help save one of their own family members. Do you agree? Every protective service member should be able to protect themselves and their families when they are off duty. I also call upon government to rescind the wicked 4% insult to our officers. Give them a meaningful raise in salaries. Officers should also be guaranteed extra duty pay, especially when they have to attend court hearings on their days off. These people, Rowley, the special branch is very special. Treat them specially. Whether you like them or not, they work hard. They work hard. They work hard. They put their lives at risk every single day. The officers should be guaranteed for their education. They protect and serve us every day. One or two bad ones. The majority are good personnel serving our country. Their children must be gate funding to get a tertiary education. And if we secure our security personnel and their families, there will be no doubt, they will be more motivated. Jackie was National Security Minister, you know that. You demoralize the police every day, you underfund them, you don't help them, you don't help their family, but you want them to go and protect and serve. And they do try. But we must motivate them first. Remember, I tell you, if you're dead, no road, no bridge, no hospital, no salary, no job, nothing will help you. First, live. So stand your ground, stand your ground. When you go to vote against that evil government that worked our police and prison officers to death during COVID, and then they used to pay them properly. So now we stand around for security personnel in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, it's amazing. Some people suddenly found a very fake sense of humanity. Hypocrites, I call them. They all say nothing about crime, nothing about the robbery, nothing about the murders, nothing about the home invasions. And suddenly, they wake up and they want to talk about Kamla, what Kamla see. They said nothing about the rapes, nothing about robbery, nothing about the crime, nothing. They keep quiet about humanizing treatments of crime. They do not complain about how hard it is for ordinary citizens to live and survive. But when I say to life up criminals, man, they wake up and everybody down on my throat. Listen, I will not give up. I will stand my ground. We will stand our ground. So suddenly, armchair people, suddenly they're experts about this reasonable force. So very concerned about the rights of the bands. Aid your home. They're experts in race relations. They're concerned about speech. And yet when they were murdering and raping and killing women and children, they had nothing to say, nothing to say. So I call upon these hypocrites. Talk about defending the victims of home invasion and crime. Victims from depression, anxiety, constant fear. Victims sometimes commit suicide. Families are destroyed. Marriages are broken. Children are left scarred for life. What about the feelings of victims? Let us hear your voices. You're mewling and puking. All these armchair politicians every day. You're worrying about the criminal invading the home, but you're not worried about the women and children who deserve safety and protection. Not worried. Not worried. And they call me a dangerous woman. I said it before. Call me a dangerous woman, yes. But I have a dangerous woman because there are any weak men and weak women in positions of influence. They do nothing to protect you. They do nothing to stand up. And the weakest of all is the dictator himself. So my friends, I have to be a dangerous woman to protect you and your family from the criminals. What kind of person would not support stand your ground to protect your families? I want you to look at this article today, please. On the Express. Can we put it up, please, Givan? Is it up? Express article? Yes. 2 retirees were beaten at their Barkpo home by masked men who stole their vehicle as well as items from the house. The home invasion took place around 7:15 a.m. on Saturday. A 64-year-old woman, her 73-year-old husband were at their home when 2 men, one with a gun, entered the door which was open. A robbery was announced and they told the couple, somebody send me on a walk. Somebody send me on a walk. They proceeded to tie their hands with rope. They beat the couple about their bodies. They took the keys to the white Nissan. The men then left in the 80,000 vehicle which was parked in the front yard. Retirees, pensioners. We have brave police officers going out every day, fearlessly. Listen, we also have Ian Alain every day, going all over, assisting the police. Give Ian a round of applause. Light him up. Light up Ian Alain. But they cannot be everywhere. That is why we need to stand up and fight back. Criminals must have the fear that if they come to invade your home, you are not defenseless. They will be injured. They must know that. But at the moment you are sitting duck in your home, Because they say no force, you can't use this, you can't do that. Listen, if you have a gun, legal gun, and the bandit come and he come with a boulder, what you going to do? Put down the gun and go and look for boulders in your yard? What do? Light them up! Stand your ground! Ask yourself, when you read the opinions of these weak men and women, do they actually see you? The ordinary people of Trinidad and Tobago, do they see you? They don't see you being forced out of your homes by gangsters. They don't see your children under self-imposed curfew in hotspot areas. They don't see you being extorted by criminals, so they won't burn down your home or business. They don't see when your sons are forced to join a gang at gunpoint or be killed for refusing. They don't see when your wives and daughters are raped and beaten. They do not see when you're struggling with food prices, school supplies, and rent. They don't see you when you have to pay property tax. They say, vote for me, and guess what? Pay me property tax. That is their campaign. That is their campaign. Vote for PNM, and when the election done, pay properties. They don't see you when you have to pay that tax, property tax, inheritance tax, increase water, increase electricity rates. And after, how much time to raise the fuel price, somebody? Six times? 6, and they ain't riot yet. Well, on Monday, riot with your fingers, your voting finger. Riot on Monday, put out that finger. They don't see you, Dr. Bodo. When old constituents flood, homes flooded, you know, I am a very young person, right? Say yes. Okay, I'm not so young anymore, but in all my life, I have never seen San Fernando flood out at last weekend. Anybody here? I have never seen that happen. Before it was Penal UNC, yeah, Barakpo. Hey, the whole of San Fernando flooded out last weekend. You saw it. What has gone? What has not happened in this wicked government? So they don't see you when people come and steal your crops. When they chop down whatever they don't steal. Ratiram is always talking about his MP Ratiram. Always talking about the agriculture sector. They don't see you. They see you when you cannot get a job. They see you when your mental health frazzled. Well, Rudy says some more frazzled tonight, but I'll endorse it. So I want to tell you tonight, please, before I close. Time goes so fast when you are enjoying yourself. Superior, Pina, thank you, bless you, thank you. Always to be known. Superior and Pina, welcome, has lifted my spirits, lifted my heart, that I know we will win this election. No. They do. In all and pain, they don't see you. But I want to tell you tonight, I, Kamla Persad Bissessar, I see you. I have always seen you. I've always been seen the working class. I have always loved you. And I will always love you. And we will always fight for you. The weak men and women, they saw the baby grant. $500, you know, take away the baby grant. They took away the VAT, 7,000 food items. They took away the expansion of gate. They took away the cerebral palsy grant. They took away subsidized fuel. They took away the labs for children, the free school transport. They took away the expanded school feeding program. They took away the land for landless program. They took away the many programs that we had put in my government. Several of my ministers are here tonight. Rudal Munilal. Khadija was not in the cabinet, but she was at Jack Warner, Dr. Lakram Bodo, MP Indar Singh, others who work with us, Rishi and others, MP Tanku. We know what it is like to fight and struggle. And the programs that we put in were to help the catch-us class. Forgive me for using that word. Was to help the poor, the vulnerable, the most in need. And they took away all those programs. What do we say? Vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. They are not offended when the country's money is diverted to give Faris and family 250 million in rent. They don't worry about that. What do they worry about? My $500 baby grant to give a newborn baby a fighting chance. Every mother here knows. You feel it in your belly and in your stomach when a child doesn't have food. Fathers know it too. When a father cannot bring home food to put on the table, can you imagine his plight? So we gave that baby grant. And they were offended by that. They were offended and they fight it on and they take it away. We will bring back the baby grant. We bring it back. And so, they are not offended when the money, as I say, is diverted. Faris and family, Stuart Young and family, getting over how many billions, Wade Mark knows it well, about 7 billion, Wade, in contracts. They're not offended by that, you know. They're all about the rich getting richer. And they care only about themselves. They are saying, you're not escaping tonight. Your wife's company getting hundreds of millions in state contracts. But you take away the baby grant ban. That hurts me, hurts me, hurts me. It hurts me. Shame. So I said those weak people really do not live in Trinidad and Tobago. They do not know the pain or the suffering that ordinary people are going through in this country. Look, I will take any criticism. I will take any criticism, but I can always say, no other leader ever loved the poor, the working classes, and the children of this country more than I. None, none. And as my colleagues told you, Shanti, as they told you, the PNM is getting very desperate. And when they get desperate, a wounded animal is a dangerous animal. They're desperate. And therefore, I want to ask ABC, what criteria do you use to select returning officers for everywhere, but especially for San Fernando City Corporation? What was the criteria? Is it true that the returning officers, John Mark George and Lorette Hope McDonald, are registered PNM members and returning officers in San Fernando City Corporation? Is it true? And before this week is done, we will expose all of them working. John Mark George. Where do you think that George is related to? Annie said George, Speaker, or Newman George? I don't know. John Mark George is a returning officer for Lesser East. Hear me, you know. Lesser West, Springvale Paradise. That's 3 San Fernando critical seats. Lorette Hope McDonald is a returning officer for Marabella East, Marabella South Vista Bella, Marabella West, Macayes, Marabella West, you all see too. All of these are hotly contested marginal seats. So I call on this returning officer, me, are you on the PNM's registered members list? And if you are, you have to declare a conflict of interest when you sit as returning officer in these hotly contested San Fernando seats. As I say, before the week is done, we'll bring some more names. You see, we never paid attention to these things before, but the PNM, wicked, corrupt, evil, they have a way to. They have a way to. Thief. So be alert. Be very alert. Your agents in those stations, put them on the manners. Light them up. Light them up. And you know, we must remember, how did they choose these returning officers? I have caused a letter be sent from the party to find out the names of the presiding officers and deputy presiding officers. And if they are conflicted, we will light them up as well. We will. And we must remember, in 2017, the Deputy Chief Elections Officer, her name was Lena Sahadeh. She worked for the EBC for 24 years. She was bypassed to appoint Fern Narciscope, who was a junior contract officer, as the EBC's new Chief Elections Officer. It is alleged, Wade tells me all the time, that this lady was a close family member of a sitting PNM minister and bestie of the current Minister of Education. And then become to one of the senior commissioners of the BC. He's a senior partner in a law firm that since this government came into power has received over $23 million in legal briefs. These are the people, and that is why I renew my call. I repeat my call for international election observers. Bring in international election observers, because this government is desperate. They tell me up in Grandy, they walk with a bag full of money. The only honest Indian in Trinidad, you know who is that? A fellow named Rohan Sinanan. He called himself the only honest Indian. They walk with a box. That is the only man who knows how much dollars is fit in a carry box. That's what he said. Carry box, walking with a carry box and bag up in Grandy, but money will not save you. The hearts of the people are against you. It will not save you. Will not. And I know Kevin will give me a time check in a few minutes, but let me go. Yes, I will. They're now patching road everywhere. Election gimmicks again. But up in Camden Road, can you put it up please, Kevin, the road they're patching up there. At Camden Road in Couva, you know what they're doing? So desperate are they to show for 8 years they did nothing, that they're now doing something. But what they're doing, they are digging out the old material, and then they're taking the same old material, bad material, they're putting it back into the holes that they are patching, compacting it, and then covering it with a thin layer of gravel. So after August 4th, you know how much a road gone through. What kind of work is this? Bad roads, bad patching, and yet that's their answer to try to win this election. My colleague already spoke about Rowley breaks the law. I planned to speak about it, but time is against me, but let me just hold it up. Trinidad Express, Rowley in breach of the law. And this has to do, as Dr. Munilal told us earlier, with the apartments they bought in Tobago. But know this, the other people who are bought there are all the PNM Eater Food people. Newman George, Gilbert Peterson. If your name is like a whole PNM camp in that Inez Gate. So I'll talk another night, but I have to ask some questions from the Integrity Commission, which is why we called Saddam first did the letter. Give him a round of applause again, young Saddam. Our very own legal luminary, Rafi Balgobin Maraj, and our very own fearless legal warrior, former AG Anand Ramlogan. They filed a pre-action protocol letter to find out why the Integrity Commission cleared Rowley when the evidence is clear that something is not right in the state of Trinidad and Tobago. So we have that one, and then we have this one as expressed. Newsday, why no action against the PM? Newsday, thank you Newsday, great story. They like us, hold up their paper. So read the Newsday and read the Express, but do not engage with Guardian Media Limited. Thank you very much. I am told this whole week, Guardian Media and some top operatives of the PNM, they come in every single day to lick down my candidates, lick down UNC, lick down NTA, lick down Jack, lick down Gary, lick down every egg. You're not going to get through, fellas. You're not getting through. You will not get through. You'll notice we don't advertise in Guardian Media. And there's a reason. I had it in my speech and then I took it out, but I feel I have to share it with you. On Sunday Guardian yesterday, they wrote a totally false narrative. They're repeating Rowley's narrative that I am pushing stand your ground law because I'm racially stereotyping. I have spoken, you have known me my life. I've said whether you're white, black, blue, green, blonde, wherever you come from, only one race, the human race, only one. So I've instructed my lawyers to call on the Guardian Media for their false narrative in yesterday's Guardian. I call on them. My lawyers will go far. We must not give them a free pass. So I'm warning you this week, when you pick up the Guardian, no, not going there. Just don't read it. Don't even buy it, by the way. Don't even buy it. Okay, so talking about the Rowleys in breach of law, I want to ask the Integrity Commission. But the question is why? Why? In light of everything you have cleared, or you say you clear Rowley. Now they admit in their letter back to Saddam, they admit that Rowley was in breach of the law. But they did nothing. And Rowley started on one platform. You know Rowley now, he said they clear him. You would have thought Rowley would have given you the letter clearing him. But he didn't clear him. They said he breached the law. But they're not going to do nothing. So we go to court, and the courts will decide. As Rudy tell you, they don't like Privy Council. We'll go all the way to the Privy Council. It is a dangerous precedent. Rudy say he not filing and so on, but I will file. I am a good law-abiding citizen. I will file mine. And they say Rowley breached the law, but he didn't do it knowingly. How long that man in Parliament now? How many years, Wade? Many years, decades. And every year we file, you suddenly didn't know you had to declare you buy 2 townhouse or 1 townhouse at undervalue. You didn't know. And that's why they escaped. He escaped. So I'm asking the Integrity Commission now. One of them, the chairman, his name is Professor Rajendra Ramlogan. You know, I'm a very lucky person. He was in my class in law school. And the second commissioner is a fellow named Frederick Jilks. You know, he was also in my class in law school. But by the way, I topped the law school. I remember that. I topped the law school. so I want to ask the Integrity Commission, when is your job coming up for renewal? Are you doing the bidding of the government? You say Rowley found guilty, he's breached the law, but it's okay, we're not doing him nothing. And you do it. That letter, Salam, was written when? Since 2021. Since 2021. We are in 2023. On the eve of an election, you hold on to that letter Saddam sent. You never responded until the end of July, just before election, to say you clear Rowley. Anyway, Mr. Professor Ramlogan, not Anna there, this is Rajendra. When is your office coming up for renewal? Will you tell the country? Are you doing the government's bidding to get back your job and eat your food? Frederick Gills, I'm asking you, did you recuse yourself from that deliberation about the Rowley matter? Because you applied for silk. I am told you didn't get it yet. They say clear me first and you might get it after. He applied for silk. Did you recuse yourself? Because you would have been conflicted. You had a conflict of interest in listening to a matter involving Mr. Rowley, because Mr. Rowley is the final decision maker to sign off. To say, yes, Mr. Gilks, you're getting it. Just hold on. Just clear me, please, before the election. Have they done that? There are two questions I'm asking. Did you recuse yourself in that meeting? Conflict of interest. Because you're begging the Prime Minister for eat a food silk. Okay, so we move along. There are serious questions about the chairman and this deputy chairman of the Integrity Commission I've raised with you. I've asked you, I've told you their names. I'm asking them to inform the population why they dismissed the complaint against Rowley. When there's evidence against him, again, is it because you were promised senior counsel, silk? Tell us why. Professor Ramlogan was appointed January 21 for 3 years. That is coming to an end. Professor, tell us, are you doing your master's bidding to get a renewal of your contract? As I close now and my time is well upon us, Kevin will be very upset with me. Kevin, give me a wave. Let's give Kevin a wave. He does a great job every night. Every night. Thank you, Kevin. Let's say thank you to DJ Tank. DJ Tank carries our song. Let's say thank you to William Archie, does our streaming, and all the others who work backstage. Let's give them all a round of applause. I make it abundantly clear tonight, I will continue to stand on the side of law-abiding citizens. When you go out to vote this week and on August 14th, remember exactly what is at stake. You're not simply voting for the councillor. You're voting for your future. You're voting to protect your loved ones. I want you to look at the faces of your loved ones, husband, wife, mother, father, children, brother, sister. Look at the faces of the loved ones. And then, when you see those faces, they are the persons you're voting for when you go to the polls. Love and remember them. Their future, their security, their safety, their happiness depends on each and every one of you. You're not happy when you have to turn your house into a prison to be safe. And they are still coming for you in your home whilst you're sleeping. What kind of terrifying life are you living? So you have to come out. You have to come out and vote them out on Monday and during the rest of this week. And we will send a message to this wicked government. A message to tell Mr. Rowley that you and your family's security are more important. And he must fire Hines. And when he finished firing Hines, he must fire himself. They must all go. By sending this government a message, they may change the course of their behavior, although I doubt it very much. By sending a message, they may change course. They may work to bring down the food prices. We know how to do it. We did it. By sending this message to them, you're saying you are fed up of your children and grandchildren being bullied and beaten at schools. By sending them a message, you're saying you want sustainable jobs. The very people this dictator government continue to ignore, to oppress the most, the people whom they have forgotten, whom they have left behind, whom they just do not care about. We must send a message that your security and your happiness matter. Tonight I say, as I close, the code is yellow. Your job starts now, every day this week and on August 14th. Don't tote, just vote. Tonight I want to welcome a very special guest. Our candidate, John Ali Bokas, better known as Macamillion. Did you know he has the most beautiful sister in the world? Fayan Ali Bokas. She lives in the States, but she came down. Fayan, please join us on the platform. Please welcome Miss Trinidad and Tobago former, Fayan Ali Bokas.
Focus on Ali Bokas. Focus on UNC. The sun must rise. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Everyone. Amen. Amen. I stand before you so very proud. I stand before you so empowered. And the reason why is because every one of us, we carry that power. And it's only if we realize that the power is in our hand. The power is our democracy. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we the people, we must stand up, rise, elevate, and go forth. Yes, we must, because the sun must rise. And as my grandmother would say, wake up, wake up, wake up, people. Wake up, Trinidad and Tobago. Everything must change. This event was poor raising, and you have my 100% endorsement. The code is yellow. The code is blue. We stand together and elevate. Take our Trinidad and Tobago back. Take it back.
Boss, we didn't plan this, right? We didn't plan this, but
We did not.
you know the boss love music. Anybody inside here know the boss love music? Boss, I want Faye Ali Bokas to sing a song for you.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. The young becomes the old. Mysteries do unfold. But that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. Everything must change. Wake up, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Greg, always tell me, Kamla, don't sing on the mic. Give it up for Fayan, please. So, we close tonight. We ask you to join us if you can, but we are in the East on Thursday in Arima. And of course, on Saturday, our rally in San Fernando. So please, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you. I ask the candidates, MP senators, and of course, Mr. Warner, please join us on stage. The code is